Hello everyone, welcome back to Shala. And today I'm here with another chapter of biology that I know a lot of you find hard. But today, I promise you, after this lecture, this will be the easiest chapter for you. Yes, this is neural control and coordination. Before we begin, I would like to introduce myself to you. So, my name is Aditi Goyal. I am a final year MBBS student, and from the past 5 years, I have been mentoring students regarding NEET preparation. I have been teaching biology. So, yes, I hope you would find this lecture helpful, and let's get started. All right, so let's talk about firstly what is this neural coordination? Well, coordination is the process through which two or maybe even more than two organs interact and complement the functions of one another. What I mean here is your body has so many organs, right? Your heart, brain, kidney, lungs, liver. And tell me, if everyone keeps doing their own thing, would you be able to survive? No, you wouldn't be. Definitely. So, yes, a coordination. All of them have to work in symphony in order to have a good survival mechanism. That is what is called neural coordination. For example, exercise. During physical exercise, your muscles, lungs, heart, blood vessels, and kidney, all of them are working together in a coordinated manner. Your muscles require more energy. For more energy, you require more oxygen, so you start breathing fast, right? Your lungs start working more, your kidneys start working more, your blood vessels start supplying more blood to your muscles. So all of them have to work in a coordinated manner. Now, in your body, there are two coordination systems, the neural system and endocrine system. Both of them together jointly coordinate all the activities. Today, we will be talking about neural system, and further on in parts of these videos, we will also be talking about chemical coordinations. So, yes, let's get started. So, first, let's take an overview at neural system. I mean, what are the components of it? So, the neural system is composed of highly specialized cells called neurons, which can detect. I mean, detect means, okay, I see there is some information, there is some stimuli. Then they can receive it, and also they can transmit different kinds of stimuli. So, Hydra is a very simple network of neurons. You must have heard in Animalia chapter, the simplest organisms, Hydra, they have a simple network of neurons. Insects, they have brain, they have ganglia, they also have neural tissues. So we see here as we move upward, there is more neural organization. And in us, vertebrates, we have a lot more developed neural system that we are going to take a look over. So let's see. So, the basic component of our human neural system are two. You can never forget this: CNS and PNS. CNS stands for Central Nervous System, the commanding center of my whole nervous system. It consists of two important organs, my brain and my spinal cord. So, these are the places, this is the control center. So they have to get all the information and they have to make the decisions. So these are the sites of information processing and also controlling. Then on the other hand, there is a peripheral nervous system, and it has all the nerves associated with CNS. There are a lot of nerves that have to work for this command center for the brain and spinal cord. So all the nerves that do that work comprise of the peripheral nervous system. Now, peripheral nervous system has two kinds of nerves, afferent and efferent. Afferent nerves are those that get the information to the CNS. Firstly, CNS requires information to process, right? And A is the first letter in the alphabet. So first we require the information, we get a stimuli, then it reaches our central system, and efferent is the one that comes from CNS and gives information to us. Yes? Now, PNS is further divided into somatic and autonomic neural system. What is somatic neural system? So, somatic neural system helps us regulate those activities which are under our control. Like I'm moving my hand, right? I can lift my leg, I can blink my eyes. So, all of these activities are under my control, right? So, that is somatic nervous system. So, that relays impulses to skeletal muscles which are under our control, voluntary control. Whereas it's another component is autonomic neural system. It transmits impulses to involuntary organs, and smooth muscles. Smooth muscles are muscles all on my organs like heart, my GIT, my stomach. So these muscles, can I make my heart beat on my own will and make it stop on my will? No. All of this also has to be regulated, and that is done by autonomic nervous system. And now further to increase it, autonomic neural system is also divided into two components: sympathetic and parasympathetic. So sympathetic system is majorly excitatory and parasympathetic is majorly inhibitory. All right, I hope that gave you an overview. So guys, now what is the smallest unit of this neural system that operates in the whole system? That is a neuron. Yes, that is the most basic unit in a nervous system. So the neuron also has in structure three components: a cell body. Yes, so it contains the cytoplasm with the cell organelles. And apart from the typical cell organelles in neurons in their cell body, a special organelle is Nissel's granule. Yes. Then we have dendrites, like radiating branches. So these are short fibers that keep branching repeatedly and they transmit all the impulses towards our cell body. So dendrites bring impulses towards the cell body. On the other hand, we have an axon. You see a continuous fiber? That is an axon. It's a long fiber with synaptic knobs containing neurotransmitters. So it has knobs. You see some elevated parts? Those are synaptic knobs which have our neurotransmitters which are released and they transmit impulses away from the cell body. So dendrites bring impulses to the cell body and axons take away the impulse from the cell body. All right, now I understand this neuron. Now, neurons are also not of a single type. There are different types of neurons in our body. So, it depends upon their polarity. How do we get polarity? It is based upon axon. Axon was again a long fiber that takes impulses away from the cell body. So, it is based upon the number of axons and dendrites. Dendrites were those who brought signals towards the cell body. So, there could be multipolar neurons which have one axon but 2 plus dendrites. Okay, so where are these kind of neuron axons found? In our cerebral cortex. It has to do a lot of work, right? Then there are bipolars one axon and one dendrite. So two, right? It is found in the retina of our eye. And unipolar, one axon only, no dendrites. Now it is not found in you and me. It is only found during the embryonic stage. Now, are there any classifications for my axons? Yes, there are. So, my axons are usually covered by a sheath that helps them with a lot of things that we will also get to know. So, that sheath is called myelination, myelin sheath. When a neuron has a myelin sheath, it is called a myelinated neuron. So, myelinated neurons are enveloped with Schwann cells. Yes, and these Schwann cells form the myelin sheath around the axon. Now, the myelin sheath is not continuous. It is never. It has some gaps in between. That gaps are called nodes of Ranvier. So, a signal keeps jumping between these nodes of Ranvier. That is how the signal is conducted. So, if I have to just jump over a distance, I believe the impulse will be transmitted faster, right? Yes. So, in these myelinated neurons, the impulse travels faster as compared to the non-myelinated neurons. Non-myelinated neurons also have the Schwann cells. Do not think that if they are not myelinated, they do not have Schwann cells. They do have Schwann cells, but they do not have any myelin sheath formation. If they do not have myelin sheath, of course, they would not have nodes of Ranvier. Now, non-myelinated axons are usually found in autonomic and somatic system, basically in the peripheral nervous system, whereas myelinated axons are found in spinal and cranial nerves. Okay. Also, I want you to know an interesting fact. It is believed that myelinated neurons are a result of evolution that we have talked about in the last chapter. Okay, so now let's talk about resting potential. But before I talk, okay, so now I want you to tell something interesting. I know you're finding this lecture very helpful and you want to learn about resting potential, but I want you to tell something so exciting. If you're looking for a complete study solution, you definitely need to check out Pathshala. They offer one on one live classes, instant doubt solving, and also the premium study materials that cover all the grades and all the boards. It's basically like having a personal tutor in your pocket. To get started, just download the app using the link in the description box. Search for the subject you want to learn and they will connect you with the best teachers in the country. Seriously, go check it out. The link is in down right down below. All right. Okay, so we were learning about resting potential. I mean, what potential I hold while I'm just resting, when I'm doing nothing, or then also what potential I have. Well, neurons also have that kind of potential. When neurons are not conducting any impulse, resting calmly, the axonal membrane is actually polarized. It is not unpolarized. So, why it is polarized? So, it happens because of the ionic differences. Inside an axon, there is high potassium content. A lot of potassium ions are in there. Also, apart from high number of potassium ions, there are negative proteins. Yes, and these negative proteins, they cannot cross the membrane. And apart from high protein and negative proteins, high potassium, there is also low sodium. Okay, so high potassium, low sodium, and negatively charged proteins. Whereas outside the axon, it's completely opposite scenario. There is low potassium and high sodium, and no proteins. So inside the axon, there is overall a negative charge, whereas outside the axon, there is a positive charge. And how this charge is maintained? There is a sodium potassium pump which takes care of this negative polarity of the axonal membrane. What it does is it basically pushes 3 sodium out and takes 2 potassium in. So when I'm pushing 3 positive charges out and I'm taking only 2 positive charges in, definitely I'm becoming negative. And you know what, guys? The sodium potassium pump is an example of active transportation. Yes, that is also something you will find in your NCRT books, and we will cover in further lectures. All right, guys. So today I will like to stop my lecture here, and we will continue talking about neural coordination in further lectures. I again would request you to check out the Pathshala app. Also, guys, the link for the slides of this video are there in the description box. You can check them out, download them. If you have any kind of doubt, please feel free to comment. I will resolve those. And yes, please wait for the part 2. I will be here with more interesting explanations and more interesting descriptions. Subscribe to Pathshala, like, share, comment, and yes, keep studying.